$3,160. That's the price of a 1-year subscription just to fully read the fault codes on a tractor you already paid for, billed by the company that built it. That's number 7 on this list of reasons a lifelong green customer finally went red. This isn't a story about one cranky dealer. It's about what happens to your leverage the day you sign for a $15,000 to $40,000 machine and find out the repair is locked behind a login. There are 7 things stacked against the single brand owner here, and the last one flips the whole switching story on its head. By the end, you'll know the 7 traps, the 3 machines actually worth switching to, and the one question that ends the badge argument on the lot. So back to that subscription. You've changed your own oil, your own hydraulic fluid, maybe fabricated a bracket in the shop on a Sunday, but the deep diagnostics, the ones that clear a limp mode fault, live in a dealer tool called Service Advisor. Deere charges $3,160 for the first year and $2,560 to renew. And the version sold to owners still can't perform every repair the dealer's copy can. So the machine runs, but the fix is rented. Number 6 is why that subscription even exists. Think back to when a tractor was a key, a battery, and a prayer on a cold morning. Modern green equipment pairs parts to the machine with software. Swap a sensor, and it may not run until the part is authorized. In January of last year, the FTC and several states sued Deere over exactly this, alleging the repair restrictions handed it a 100% share of the fully functional repair tool market, and a federal judge refused to throw that case out. Number 5 is the badge game, and it cuts both ways. You know the colors. Green is Deere, orange is Kubota, red is Massey. But Massey doesn't build most of its small tractors. The subcompacts run Iseki engines out of Japan. The 2600H utility line is built in India by a company called Tuffer, with a Simpson diesel licensed from Perkins. You're often buying one company's iron in another company's paint. Remember the name TAFE. It comes back, and it's the reason number 1 on this list exists. Number 4 used to have a simple answer. The old play when a dealer treated you wrong was to drive to the next one. But a consumer group's analysis found 82% of Deere dealership locations now belong to chains with 7 or more stores. For Kubota, that figure sits under 6%. So the next dealer is often the same owner. The leverage you thought you had walked out the door with the family lot. And here's where 3 of these connect. The subscription, the software lock, and the consolidation aren't 3 accidents. They're one design. The more your repair lives behind a login and a shrinking number of counters, the less that 5-figure check in your hand is actually worth. Number 3 is the one this crowd gets lied to about constantly. I get it, regen cycles and exhaust fluid have an ugly reputation. But the emissions hardware doesn't track the paint. It tracks horsepower. Under about 25 horsepower, a maker can skip the particulate filter entirely. That's why the Deere 1025R is rated 23.9 horsepower, and the Kubota L2501 is rated 24.8. Those numbers are deliberate. Deere actually derated the old 1026R to clear that line and renamed it the 1025R. Cross 25 horsepower in any color, and you inherit a regenerating filter. The headache is real, but it's a horsepower decision, not a brand betrayal. Number 2 is the fix that wasn't one. In early 2023, you may have heard the repair fight was over. Deere signed a memorandum of understanding with the Farm Bureau promising tool access, but that memorandum is voluntary. It isn't an enforceable contract, and one of its terms asked the Farm Bureau to stop backing right to repair laws. The National Farmers Union called it riddled with potential loopholes. 2 years later, the FTC sued anyway. A handshake that asks you to quit fighting was never a fix. And number 1 flips the whole story. Remember TAFE, the company building that Massey utility line. TAFE is also ACCO's single largest shareholder, and the two went to war. Trade coverage reported ACO's chief executive halted orders of the TAFE-built 2,600 Heach tractors, and dealers described parts shipments slowing to a crawl. Owners of older orphaned models tell of injection pumps quoted north of $7,000 with no U.S. parts source. So the man who switched his whole fleet to escape one company's grip landed inside another company's supply fight. The cutoff was real. It just didn't come from the dealer he left. And yes, I know I just spent 6 minutes dragging the color green. But the point was never to scare you off every tractor with a computer in it. It's to make you unupsellable. Because once it's clear that the real decision is leverage and not color, the buy list gets simple. 3 machines earn the switch, and I'll give you the honest catch on every one, including the one I'd put my own money on. Start small. The Massey GC1725M is the value subcompact. Iseki engine out of Japan, rated at 24 horsepower so it skips the particulate filter, and it usually stickers a few thousand under a comparably equipped Deere 1025R. The honest catch: Massey's dealer network is thinner than green or orange. So before you buy, drive to the parts counter and ask how fast they can get you a filter. If the answer is a week, that's your real cost. Now the one I have to be straight about. If resale is your top priority, Massey isn't the leader, and I personally think that's worth saying out loud. The Kubota L2501 holds its value better than almost anything in this class. It's the same no-filter play under 25 horsepower, the D1703 engine rated at 24.8 on purpose, and it's boringly reliable. The catch is, it costs more upfront, and you're back inside a tight dealer network. But if you might sell in 5 years, that orange paint is a savings account. Your call, but I'd rather tell you that than pretend. And the one I'd put my own money on for working real acreage. The Massey 2600H. It's a 45 to 74 horsepower utility tractor that meets emissions with exhaust recirculation and a simple oxidation catalyst, which means no particulate filter and no diesel exhaust fluid. Gear drive shuttle, mechanical, the kind of machine you can actually wrench on yourself. The catch is the one we already covered. It's TAFE built, and that supply line has been shaky. So buy from a dealer who stocks parts deep and get the injection and pump components confirmed available before you sign. Do that, and you own a fix-it-yourself tractor with no regen babysitting. Here's what every one of these comes down to. The paint on the hood was never the decision. The leverage was. Who controls the repair, who stocks the parts, and how much of the machine you actually own when the check clears. You're more mechanical than the guy trying to sell you, and now you have the questions that prove it. Before color, before badge, ask 2 things. What engine is actually in it, and what emissions tier does it carry? Answer those, and no lot in the county can upsell you. You walk in knowing more than the salesman, and you walk out owning the decision. Next, I'm breaking down the tractor brands quietly built by the same handful of factories, and the badge that charges the most for the least. And that $3,000 fee just to read your own fault codes, that's not the future. That's the bill they're already sending. YouTube thinks you'll like one of the 2 videos on your screen right now. So click 1, and if you made it to the end, subscribe